Fellas, man, what's good?
Yo, welcome back. What's going on, fellas?
We back at it, man. We back at it. First off, before we even get into anything, welcome to another incredible, life-altering episode of Sparring Minds. You already know who I am. It's your boy Charles Jones, aka Charlie Hustle.
Hi, Tower in the house, y'all. What's up?
Sam Little, how you doing?
Hey, and it's the chef, Mr. Main Topic. Aye.
This is we back together again. Again, it's beautiful when we can actually form Voltron and get the four of us here. So salute to us. Salute to the movement that we're trying to push, and salute to anybody else out there who's doing podcasts and get their lifelong friends involved and take them on a journey with them. It's a dope thing to be doing right now, especially during COVID. Like, put your opinions out in the world, man. Let's talk about some things. So outside of that, what's going on with y'all? How's everything been this week?
Busy, man. Cool. Busy.
I got this. Salute to High Tall for the school movement. We're still behind you on that. We're still gonna hold you back.
I got the school thing going on, man. I got this diversity and inclusion thing going on at work that I'm doing on the side.
Okay. Oh yeah, you mentioned that before.
It's never ending, man. I'm juggling all of that. The household, just a lot going on, man.
So what's that diversity? I know that's something with the corporation, correct? So what's the end goal with that?
Essentially, we are. I don't want to say we're being proactive, because clearly we're behind the eight ball in that respect. But we're better than some other brands that are having like walkouts and having issues with racism internally, and we don't really have that blatant racism. A lot of the stuff is implicit, but we recognize that we can be better, so we're working to clean houses in a sense to fix things internally as a brand.
Okay. Salute to the corporation, man, for recognizing that it's needed.
Yeah, and it's not something the brand stepped up to do. It started off with me and a few of my colleagues that look like me said like, yo, we gotta do something, and we put something together, brought it to the senior management, and they were on board like, you know what, you're right, we got to get this shit together. Let's support you guys in your efforts. So it's been a lot of those meetings, a lot of meetings with senior management. We're planning now our inaugural kickoff event as a employee resource group for Black and Brown folks. So
Nice.
We're planning a little virtual event there, guest speakers, all that stuff, and then we'll be the official first group for the brand, which we are, we're certain will spawn more types, groups of that type. But yeah, it's been a lot of work, man. We've been doing this since May, trying to get shit together. Incredible. So yeah.
And that's such a stark contrast from the folks that I work with. Again, maybe it has something to do with that I'm in the South. It may have a lot to do with the fact that my particular position is heavily influenced by politicians. And so they would much rather not have these conversations. They would much rather brush it under the rug and let's talk about the next assignment at the office, as opposed to something that's happening socially for all of us. And the bad part about it is that all of the employees who look like me get that same feeling that the corporation would rather not even discuss it. And then, of course, morale now becomes a question. Now how the staff feels becomes. It just so happens that we've been dealing with COVID at the same time as this. So COVID just takes an upper seat to this kind of conversation right now, in our workplace at least. So I hope that one day every company, small mom and pop up to giant mega companies, take a look at that infrastructure, take a look at what they have in place for these kind of conversations, and kind of, at least have the conversation.
Right. Yep.
So,
Definitely.
Pardon us. We getting deep. Like we weren't supposed to be doing all this. I was supposed to say what's good, what's going on. They were supposed to say, yeah, we're fine, and then we're supposed to move on. Like that's how it was supposed to go. It just went somewhere else.
Hey, I was out in the backyard putting up a tent, trying to test out my camping gear.
I seen that goofy ass tent. It's supposed to be a thunderstorm, isn't it?
It actually passed by. It passed by. It's real nice outside now. Yeah, it
Salute
passed
to you,
by.
old
You know.
hiker Bob ass nigga out here with a fucking lantern
Hey,
and come on, man.
hey.
But you in Tallahassee? How you talking like that, man?
Sometimes you gotta experience different things. Sometimes.
Checks
So you
already in
was
the
gonna have the
country.
tent in the backyard, be like that's what you was gonna do?
Hey, that was practice. That was practice today. Man, you know how long it took me to put that shit back together? Man, I had to break that down. It took me at least 45 minutes just to break it back down. It's like, nah.
Shit, that's funny. So
Kids have fun though.
Maine,
busy week.
Anything for you, Maine? While we're talking about our week, what's happening?
Kind of slow right now. Got a couple gigs coming up. Maybe one Friday. So I'm, we'll kind of see what that's like with my availability for Friday's show. And then a cookout on Saturday. Someone hit me up to make them some soup, which is kind of odd for this time of year, but it's all health related kind of things. Why they need it, you know what I'm saying? That's it. So far, so good. Everything is, slow motion. Still short in the week, but we'll see how it goes.
Let me say this for you: if you're new tuning into our podcast, what he's talking about is all forked up catering. So if you haven't been involved with that, if you haven't placed the order yet, if you haven't found a way to hit up Maine's page to watch the Ask the Chef segments, come on, man, you're real tardy on the game right now. So get hip to that. If you need those services, you already know what it is. You text them, you put in the word Charles, and you get 35% off. Like there's some things happening over there. Like,
he said you playing with my money right now. Can't play with my money right now.
Play with my emotions.
Oh, okay. And we about to go somewhere else right now. I'm probably gonna be mad that I'm gonna do it, but you know what? I got it anyway. I'm driving. I'm coming, to hurry up and go get baby girl.
yeah.
I get the text message come through my phone showing a plate of some ribs and all this stuff. I'm looking, I'm like, that's from Charles Jones. Charles Jones sent me that. I have to say that he got to send it to you guys too. But he rebounded nicely from his disastrous roast beef the other day. He asked me for advice and didn't follow through on the advice. So I have to give him, I killed him the other day. Me and Sammy killed him the other day. Yeah, so I got to give him his props today. The ribs look amazing.
So
looks can be deceiving.
So what he did was,
but it looked good. It looked.
It
looked really good.
So he didn't pull one of those schemes like on the shot where homeboy went out and ordered food. He didn't do one of those.
Get the fuck out of
here! He didn't do one of those. I mean,
did you call him Emmett?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. He pulled an Emmett.
Emmett Jones.
So for the listeners, I'm gonna talk to y'all one-on-one because I can't fuck with these niggas no more. Like you think you can share a milestone, you think you can share the compliments with your brothers here, and that's how they fucking treat you. And this is why they say black men don't talk, they don't share. This is exactly why that shit happens because these niggas treat you like shit when I actually accomplish something. So get these niggas the fuck out.
Are you out of your feelings, Emmett?
All right, I'm back to the show, man. Fuck y'all. So we're going to move on. But shout out to me for getting those ribs.
Shout out to Capo for those ribs. Those ribs look amazing.
I'm totally happy with those ribs. So we're going to move on.
Yeah.
So I got two, weird in the news stories that I want to kind of do real quick, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
One it's a sad story, and one is a happy story. Let me start with the sad first. So R.I.P. to a 60-year-old man in Queens, New York, who was caught in the thunderstorms Isaiah. I think that's the name of it. That's running up the East Coast towards y'all, right?
Yeah.
Hurricane,
something like that.
Yeah, is it a hurricane? Okay. I know it skipped by us, so we didn't really get no effects down here. But so this guy was caught in the rains that were coming, and decided to pull over on the side of the road, because the driving conditions were tough, right? So he said, fuck this. He pulled over to the side of the road, and in doing so, as he sat idly trying to watch the storm go by, a tree came down, landed on top of the car, and killed him.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So he did everything I would have done. You know what I mean? Like if the conditions are super crazy, I'm like, wow, let me pull over. I can't really
Yeah.
navigate safely. He just stayed listening to music, B, and then a fucking tree comes down on him.
Wow.
Super sad. But I bring it up to acknowledge him. You know what I mean? Not to. It's just a sad situation. So anytime I hear stuff like that, I want to acknowledge the person. So they didn't release the guy's name, so hopefully we can get that and just send his family some love, man. But it's a tough spot. So RIP to him. But on the other side, some happy news. There was a Tanzanian miner, right, who found a gem worth $2 million. Right?
Wow.
So salute to him in Tanzania, right, for immediately changing your life. Or so you think. Because here's the kicker to the story.
They're gonna take that shit.
In June, he found 2 other gems worth a combined $3.4 million. So this motherfucker made $5.4 million in 2 months.
Still
Off
going to
finding
work.
stones. He's a fucking
Yeah.
miner. So salute to him. That's legendary. He's got 30 kids. Again, this is Tanzania, right? So we're not told.
Wait, you said he got 30 kids.
30 kids. Got 30 kids.
You need all that money then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely
He
needs
might
that
still be in
money.
the red. So he got 30 kids. He said he's gonna have a party, which makes some sense. And then he's gonna
Okay.
build a school and a medical facility in Tanzania. So super dope. So,
Okay.
salute to
Super
him.
dope.
Yeah.
Super,
His life changed overnight. You know what I mean?
super
So,
dope.
yeah, you can't be happy about that.
Word
So
up.
salute to that. So that's my weird news. We got some Sparring Minds housekeeping. So Thursday, y'all know we doing the verses.
Mhm.
Y'all get tuned in with us. We're gonna have a good time. I'll make some drinks. I hope y'all make some drinks. We can all get drunk and listen to at least 50% good music for the night.
Did we make our picks? Are you guys all Ross and I'm the only 2 Chainz here?
You
Ross
know what?
easily.
Yeah. So after the last few verses, me and Riss been making bets. She's been really adamant about getting some payback. So we both picked Ross in the verses, but out of just the good nature of being competitive, I'm actually gonna take 2 Chainz in a bet with her.
What's her record anyway?
She's up.
0-2.
No, she's up.
Nah,
No, she lost the last one.
She lost the last one, but she's got.
You remember Maine was on the Cape eating good?
I thought she picked Jadakiss.
No. She picked Fabulous that time.
Yeah.
She picked Fabulous. She loves Fab, so no. But if she might be up by like 1, if so, I give her that. You know what I mean? But so yeah, I'm actually gonna even it out, and I'm gonna go on the show. And since I picked it, I'm gonna go 2 Chainz. Even though in my heart, I believe Rick Ross is gonna win, but I'm gonna go with 2 Chainz for the bet with me and Riz, and then for show purposes, so that Hightower is not on an island.
Leave his ass out there by himself, bro.
Listen, I don't mind being on an island. It just makes the victory more sweet.
It's gonna be a lot closer than what people think.
I'm trying to tell you.
It's gonna be a lot closer.
No, it's not.
It's gonna be a lot closer. I'm still going Ross, but it's gonna be a lot closer.
Comes down to what's played.
Man,
Don't forget.
me and you was just talking the other day about how you spent the entire day listening to Ross. And now you're going to sit here and say you're going to pick 2 Chainz.
Yeah, I know. Because ever since the battle, I've been listening to both of their playlists on Tidal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Rick Ross's playlist shit's flawless. You know what I'm saying? Chainz got some shit that I never heard before on it.
Yeah.
But it's dope. But again, it goes back to what's played and how it's played, because I think Sammy had picked Mercy, which was a good one, because again, it's not just about 2 Chainz songs. It's some verses on some joints that he has that he could bring it to it that's going to make it interesting. And that Mercy verse is one of them. That's one of those verses that
he's got a few of them.
Right. No, but I'm just, that one in particular is like, okay, he kind of did his thing. And like DMX, if that last 10 is crazy, I ain't saying he gonna beat Ross, but again, he gonna make it more interesting than people think.
Yep.
Definitely.
He's more versatile. So
Yeah, he is.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know
He's
about
more versatile.
Yeah.
No way. I don't know about more versatile. You lost me with that one.
All right.
But he gonna make it into what do you mean versatile though? Like
Look at the type of songs he's on, the type of beats he's writing. Like Ross kind of keeps into a certain pocket. Changes all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna see. Good. I don't think so. Huh?
I said he kills, and 2 Chainz kills on these verses.
No, 2 Chainz does. 2 Chainz does. But again, Rick Ross, he got the monster verse that he can play. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got some joints. It's going to be really, really interesting on Thursday night. Mm-hmm. So y'all stay in tune with the Sparring boys, and yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah, should be a good one. Definitely. And then obviously, as you see right now, we've launched the comedy bracket. At least by the time this video drops online, the people are saying that Charles Jones is the favorite in the comedy tournament, which I can accept gracefully.
What people? Your wife?
She doesn't agree with him.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Oh, so I guess I didn't heard it. EJ, that's right. He picked.
Actually, you know what? EJ probably is not even agreeing with him right now. That's probably why he doesn't even have EJ sitting with him right now. Is EJ still there?
He is. It's a pandemic. We don't travel in a pandemic.
Bring my man on one day. Like I would love to hear what EJ has to say.
We need to bring Cuz on, man.
Yeah, we need EJ sometime.
Yeah, we'll get EJ
sitting to hide EJ in the closet and shit. Come on, Cuz.
We'll get him on, but in the meantime, we definitely appreciate those votes. Y'all keep those votes rolling, and we'll get through the next bracket. I mean, comedy. Who doesn't love comedy, right? So it's, it's one of those things.
And just to let the fans be aware, also, with this comedy bracket, for the next bracket that we are launching, we are allowing the fans to pick the tournament, the type of tournament that we do. You know what I'm saying? So, fans, let's get some good ones up. You know what I mean? Pick something good for us to rock out.
Good suggestions. Yeah,
that'll be fun. Sports, fellas. Let's get into some sports. Sammy, you was giving me something on the Marlins. What's going on down there?
The Marlins are playing tonight. They're back. I don't think it's a smart idea, but they're back. They're back playing tonight. I guess the guys that are COVID free are gonna go ahead and continue on.
So it's not the same. Baseball. It's not the same team then.
It probably won't. It'll probably some guys that they had to call up that weren't infected, and some of their bench guys, but they're looking for their money. That's what Major League Baseball is looking for. They're not worried about the health. It's all about that money, because this shit doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, once you got a whole team that's half a team that's infected, like I would have just called it. Commissioner should just called it.
Yeah, it was terrible. And the Cardinals are still dealing with it, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll stay tuned and watch the whole calamity unfold. You know what I mean? Like, we're here for all of that. All of us like action movies. All of us like drama. This is one to tune into. So we're gonna watch this movie unfold, and we'll go from there. We'll talk about the ending.
I just hope they stay their ass in Florida. That's my hope. Just stay in Florida.
I don't necessarily. Whatever. All right. So,
you got an Atlanta shirt on, don't you?
ATL, Charlie. Listen, man. I'm Charlie International, man. Y'all can stay digging on one block, nigga. I'm out here, B. I'm out here.
I thought you was Charlie Red Riding Hood for a second.
Oh, see, here we go with this. All right, so fuck that. Let's move on. You also telling me some shit about the quarterback of the Washington NFL football team, Alex Smith.
Oh, he's playing in Washington. Oh shit! I lost track of him once he tore that knee. Once he messed up that knee, because what was he when he messed up the knee? He was a Redskin. I mean, I'm going to continue saying Redskin right now.
Yeah, he was the quarterback of the Redskins, correct?
Yeah. After 17 surgeries and a damn near miss of amputation, he's back. He's back practicing.
So
You know,
real
he's been
quick, for the
cleared.
for the people who don't know, Alex Smith was a quarterback for the Redskins two
Yeah.
years ago. And he got
Mm.
tackled. I can't remember who sacked him, and I want to be able to remember that too because it was important in my head for some reason. But he got sacked, snapped his tibia,
Ooh.
um, in a way to we haven't seen in like 30 years. Like we saw it with Theismann,
Yeah. Joe
who
Theismann. Yeah.
also was a quarterback of the Redskins. When that happened to him, but he broke his leg in such a way where the bone was coming out through the sock of
Mm.
his
Yeah.
uniform on
Yeah.
live TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the players were like waving over the ambulance crew and medical crew like it was one of the most gruesome football injuries we've seen, at least in our lifetime. I speak for y'all. So, and now Sammy was just talking about how they damn near amputated his leg. Like it was that
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, because after the first surgery, something went wrong with the first surgery and it got
Yeah.
infected,
Yeah.
and the shit was damn near purple. I mean, you know, for people that were able to see the pictures and stuff of it, yeah, they've had 16 more surgeries since then, and you know, he's been working his way back into the NFL.
He was in
Why?
a wheelchair for a year.
He's 36. Why is he trying to come back?
Right.
No, it's one of those hero stories. It's one of those perseverance stories.
Coming back as a hero. You don't gotta go back out in the football field.
Isn't that
Yeah,
the final step, though, is getting back on the football field?
No, the final step is walking.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the next time you won't be able to walk.
Right.
Mhm.
It was just that one time. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, shout out to him. I mean, they were still paying him. So he was getting paid while he was out injured. So I don't know why he wouldn't just retire at 36. They already
Yeah.
have Dwayne Haskins down there, so he's going to be starting. Not like they're going to bring Alex Smith in to start. So, I mean, salute to him that this 17th surgery worked out. He's able to walk and move functionally. That's a plus, man. It could have been much worse. So, salute to
Yeah.
that.
Definitely.
Some news I saw the other day before we get into Maine's Luca Brasi is that The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, bought
Mhm.
the
Saw that.
XFL.
Saw that.
Salute to The Rock for having what 19 million to throw around, or whatever it costs him to do so. He has a
Yeah,
business
he
partner,
bought
of
some
course.
trash.
But what's the point? Like, why would he buy the XFL? What's he gonna get out of that?
That's my concern, man.
He really taking his part from the show Ballers into effect big time for real.
But The Rock was a football player. Rock was a football player at one point.
College, yeah.
Yeah. In college, he went to the U.
Yeah,
I mean, the
yeah.
XFL wasn't like totally trash last year. Actually, it improved dramatically from when it very first started to most recently. It wasn't that bad. You know, I think he can clean that up a little bit. It could be a decent product. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's all business at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And I think him having his name on it, a little more exposure and stuff like that, you know, it'd be like a G League for everybody who can't make the NFL or guys who are prepping themselves for the NFL. So
Shouldn't this be a move where he's pulling people from the NFL?
He might be though.
That's what I mean. That's what I would expect. Because then you have a black-owned league.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now you have the draw because everyone's going to come and see what you got going on over here with this product. Now you got people calling you for TV deals that you weren't previously getting.
Well, just because he owns the XFL doesn't mean that he gets the rights to those stadium contracts. There's some other money he's going to have to pay out, let alone player salaries. So I think there's a bigger story around this financially for that. You don't think so?
Yeah, but I mean, it's an investment. So you can rent out a football field on a regular basis. It's just like a concert. You know what I mean? You got professional teams that are playing in college stadiums when they don't have a stadium themselves. It's the same thing. And you garner that money until you start building up your own infrastructure. Because I mean, you don't necessarily need a home stadium like right away. You just need a place for your players to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're talking about player salaries. That's the money he paid just for the name of the league is going to be minuscule when you start comparing it to some of the other costs. Even if you're renting out leagues for a year, just player salaries alone is going to be a lot more than that.
Yeah, but I mean, if everybody decides to walk away from the NFL no longer exists.
Well, why would that happen?
It's the same reason we got ball players looking to go to black colleges now. It's just something that
it's a little bit different. See, the NFL is paying big money.
Well, because they're the only product on the they have the power to do that. They're a monopoly of sorts. You see what I mean? So they can do what they want. What I'm saying is, if it was a situation where players decided, like, all right, I don't like how I'm being treated over here, I have a second opportunity over here. They've already made enough money in most cases that they can take a hit for a year.
Okay.
Because it's going to come back on the flip. This is like this is the same scenario of Chuck talking about everyone packing up and moving to Wyoming or some shit and starting fresh. It's the same idea, same concept.
I think it's different because the major difference here is that niggas is giving up guaranteed money in the NFL for what might be in the XFL under the rock. You know what I mean?
There's no might. They are the talent. They're what people coming to watch.
You know, there's an interesting story about Spencer Hayward. I think that's his name. Old Mac from the Seattle Supersonics, way back in the day, like 70s. And
Spencer Hayward.
He had an opportunity with Nike. Was it? I want to say it was Nike.
Yeah.
And
Nike.
they said, "Listen, we'll give you, a contract for $50,000 or $100,000, whatever the money was, or we'll give you 10% in Nike." And my nigga said, "Just give me the check for $50,000 or $100,000, right?" And turned down the ownership opportunity, turned down the percentage opportunity, which now is worth billions, of course, right? So in the case with the XFL and these players, I feel like they would, to a man almost, be like, nah, just give me the immediate small bread because I'm too short-sighted to look and see what something else could be in developing that type of league or developing that type of relationship. I think it's a similar thing to me.
Similar, but I mean, that's not. That comes down to the players making that conscious decision to say, do I want to be a part of something bigger, or am I comfortable in what I'm doing right now? That's all it comes down to.
Well, I think that's something I'd like to talk about that a little bit more on a larger scale. So we'll put that to the side. We'll do something with that. Maine, Luca, your guy. What's going on with him?
Luca Brasi had an insane stat line today. Youngest player in NBA history with a 30-20-10 game. Okay? 30 points, 20 rebounds, and 12 assists. Okay? This is coming from your 6'6" or 6'7", maybe a little, maybe 6'7", 6'8". Maybe 6'7", 6'8". Unathletic European player getting 20 rebounds. I mean, it's not really much more you can say about Luka. He is a flat-out stud. The Mavericks absolutely nailed that pick. And even though Trae Young is still good too, that trade that they made on draft night for Trae Young for Luka, I mean, at the time, I had no idea that Luka would be this good, this fast. But when you dig more into his background and realize this guy was playing against pros since he was like 14, 15 years old, like it's nothing. You're not going to speed him up. You're going to play at his pace. The guy is just an absolute stud. And him and Porzingis and Dallas, man, two really, really good building blocks. So shout out to Luka for that. And shout out to Chuck's boy. I just saw Devin Booker actually hit the game winner just now as the Suns beat the Clippers.
Yeah.
Suns beat the Clippers. But hey, the Nets beat the Bucks last night. I mean, listen, shit happens.
NBA action is fantastic.
Shout out to Luka for just being a flat out stud.
Yeah, Booker's a stud, bro. Booker's an absolute stud. So salute to him out in Phoenix. Before we jump off of this,
he just needs to play a little more defense.
Here we go with this. We got to build another show around.
Will you say little?
Charles understands. Booker's great. He just needs to play some more defense.
Hold on. Sparring Minds listeners, y'all give us a second real quick. I'm sorry. Let me talk to these dudes real quick. Pardon me.
I'm a
shit
defensive
makes
guy.
Me so fucking mad. I'm getting sick of that shit, dog. And it started with Ben Simmons. But now y'all doing that shit for every fucking body. Like, the NBA players don't gotta be everything, dog. Like, there were role players once in a while. There were Dude, there were specialists. You know what I mean? Who did one thing real great. You motherfuckers want everybody to be 100% elite. Get the fuck out of here, dog. If you ever found yourself trashing Ben Simmons because he don't shoot, get you the fuck out of here. If you found yourself trashing Devin Booker because he don't play defense like Dennis Rodman, get you the fuck out of here. Get everybody the fuck out of here who wants all these dudes to be fucking perfect all the time. You're clowns. You're bozo, dog. Fuck out of here.
It's sad that none of his teams have ever won anything.
What are you talking about?
It's real sad.
Who, Booker?
So in Booker's defense, the Suns as an organization have been trash until recently hiring Monty Williams. Salute to Monty Williams, who's a pretty good NBA coach.
So you're saying they didn't have great talent on their team?
No. Who else do you
Since
besides Ayton and Booker? Who else?
They've had other players. I don't know if that organization
Not
had
since
the
that.
right. I'm not sure if they had the right veterans to help these guys out, but
No, they just had bad
I don't,
coaching.
they've been drafting way up in the draft the past couple of years. I mean, there's some good talent that just disappeared. I don't.
Poor coaching, poor GM work, poor ownership, all that stuff. When you find yourself in a lottery every year, it's not on the players, bro. It's on the organization.
Definitely, Phoenix has not been a good ran organization. They haven't been. Monty Williams, they got it right. They hired LeBron's man, James Jones, I believe, is the GM. They have made some strides. So you can't totally kill Devin Booker for that. He has improved as a player each year, at least from what I can say. I can't really say he's had any setbacks, anything like that. Devin Booker is flat out absolute stud. The only thing you want to see is that his numbers to translate to more wins, but that's not all entirely on him.
Correct.
So Devin Booker is a flat out stud. You can't say it.
Absolutely.
Ben Simmons is a stud as well.
Absolutely.
He's not the best point guard in the East, though.
He's the best healthy point guard in the East. That's an absolute fact.
He's not even a point guard, man. You got a power forward playing the point guard spot because he can handle. He's not even a fucking point guard.
You know what kills me here? Chuck is sitting here praising Ben Simmons, but he's been trashing Rondo forever. The only thing he got on Rondo was height.
The only thing.
That's not true at all.
They both shoot poorly.
Ben Simmons can take over games. Rondo was carried by Hall of Famers.
Oh boy, okay.
Rondo never took over.
We're getting off topic, and I don't like talking to these niggas no more. Like they gotta make me stop the episode early out here. That's what's happening right now because these niggas going somewhere else.
Rondo ain't take over games, man.
Rondo takes over games, Ant?
He has. What are you talking about?
Rondo has taken over games before. Stop it.
I'm talking to
both sides of the floor.
It's ridiculous even to have this conversation.
Only thing Ben Simmons does better is dunk. Because he's 6'10".
All right, so we gotta move on. Let's get the fuck off of that topic. So actually, real quick before we go somewhere else, before I go into the main topic of the Ask Chuck, right? Let me tell you all a quick story. So, all right. So here's what happens.
What?
And yo, so if you've tuned in to Sparring Minds for any length of time, you know I often just freestyle things during the middle of the show, right? So these dudes have no idea what I'm about to say, but it's an interesting story that popped into my head. So here's what happened. You go out on a date with a young lady you've been courting for a couple months, right? Been courting her, been texting her. Guys, have built a little bit of rapport, right? It's okay, cool. You got the dinner. Dinner's great. You got the steaks, you got the shrimp. Of course, you cover the check. Night's incredible. 9 o'clock in the evening, y'all get out of the restaurant. Y'all go take a walk down the pier. You're holding hands. You're talking. Life is great, right? Stop. You grab a little ice cream cone. She grab a little ice cream cone. Y'all talking about ice cream cones. Like, life is good, right? Y'all walk back to the condo, right? She's like, you know what? Stop by the store. Stop by the store. She said, you know what? Grab the gold package. Oh, shit. Grab the gold package. Okay, well, say less, Mom. Grab the gold package. You know what I mean? Now, Sammy, you might not be familiar with the gold package, but don't worry about it. I'll tell you offline. So rest of us here, We we got the gold package, right? Cool, we bet. We walking with the ice cream cones. Her condo's around the block. We get to a condo. Oh, this is great. Hey, you want to come up? Oh shit, of course I'm coming up, Mom. You know, it's gonna be a great night. You get up to her apartment. You sit right there. I'm gonna go get comfortable. Shit, she go get comfortable. Straight. Let me take this hoodie off. We about to get right. So you sitting there, you on the couch, posted up. She come back out with some combination of lace and see-through fabrics. You feeling tremendous? She say, hold on, let me pour us a bottle. She pour you the good stuff. She pour herself a nice little red wine. Kind of close down the eating a little bit. Y'all sitting on the couch. One thing lead to another. You know, a kiss here, a touch here, a tongue here, you know, etc., etc. Come on, let's go in the room. Oh shit! Don't forget the gold package. Say less. Bring that with me. We in the room. One thing lead to another. You in there. One stroke. Oh shit. Two stroke. Oh shit. Three stroke. Now you feeling good, right? You hit this all night. You feeling perfect. Hold on. I don't feel comfortable doing this right now. You gotta go.
That only happens in your case.
Nigga, you three.
Continue.
Fuck out of here. Nigga, you three strokes in, right? Everything she said up until this point over the last 3 hours has led you to this moment, right? Nobody's confused here. She led you right to this moment. You in this slot right now because of everything that she has said and done to you for the last 3 hours. Now that she changes her mind in the middle of this evening, are you a villain to be upset that she changed her mind mid-stroke? I'm gonna ask you, and we're gonna go around, and this ain't even the Ask Chuck, so y'all stay tuned for that. But this is just some freestyle shit. You know what I mean? Because that's what we do on Sparring Minds. We give you the unexpected. We give you the content. Come on,
this
man.
is bullshit.
Talk
This
to
is
me,
bullshit.
man. Are you the villain?
Is he a villain for being upset under them circumstances? No, he's not the villain. I mean, at that point, emotions are high, you know, blood's rushing all over the place. No, emotions
He's all over the place.
You know what I mean? Like, no, you're not a villain to be upset. Now, you know, as always, cooler heads prevail. But in that moment, of course, you're gonna be upset. You're gonna be upset. You're gonna be disappointed. You're gonna be confused. You're gonna be all over the place figuring out what's going on.
You have the right to voice that to her?
At that moment,
yes.
Probably not.
Why not?
Your tone.
Well, this is at that moment you're trying to salvage the situation. You're not trying to make it worse. So
salvage the situation?
You'd be your own worst enemy to be upset in that situation. If anything, you'd be trying to say, is everything all right? Are you sure? Blah 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 blah. And if it gets to the point where it's like, it's evident that it's not going to continue, you get dressed and try to salvage the rest of the evening.
Sammy,
the fuck out of here.
Thank you, my nigga.
What do you mean? Salvage the rest of the evening? The rest of the evening, I'm out the house. I'm gone. Nah, salvage the rest of the evening. Yeah, okay.
But I mean, if you leaving, like you say, you're just trying to salvage the rest of the evening, right?
My nigga, like what you're trying to tell me is that first off, her actions are okay, and then second off, like you don't have the right to voice, not to sit and think about it, but the right to voice that what she's done here is fucked up.
Oh, you can always voice it. It's just not your best.
So now, so I can voice it.
Of course you can. It's not in your best interest.
Yeah, I mean, it may not be in your best interest. I mean, I'm gonna be very silent for the next 3 minutes as I put on my clothes and walk out that door. I mean, because anything you say is like, what, you can't respect my, nah, I don't want to get into all that extra shit. I don't want to get into all that extra shit, the excuses, whatever the issue is that she's going to bring up. Well, I don't want to get into all that because it's only going to make me look like I'm the villain. And I don't want all that. So I'll happily put on my clothes and exit stage left.
Yo. Of course, you have the right to be pissed off. If any man in this circle has ever had blue balls before, you know what that shit's like. It's some of the worst thing ever. Of course you can voice how you feel in that moment. I feel like you do have to be careful because depending on how angry you are, it can come off a certain way.
Yeah.
Right? I think there's ways you can get your point across and express yourself without totally just like that. I don't feel like that method. I don't feel like that method's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like, you know what? Whatever the case may be, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. Curve City. You know what I'm saying? Like if she tries to pick up the phone and call me and say, "Hey, are you okay? You know, I didn't mean to do that, but curve." You know what I'm saying?
Bitch. You know what?
Curve.
You know what?
Listen.
Straight curve. You know what I mean? Because again, she'll snap out of that later on and come back down to herself and then call you and try to act like everything is cool, copacetic, whatever the case may be. No. And again, that's when you on the mound and your pitch game is, you know what I'm saying, it's Kurt Schilling, you know what I'm saying, it's Randy Johnson, you know, in the World Series. You know what I mean? So, she gets some Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine type treatment, man, straight curve. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna make myself worse in that situation because, again, in that moment, your reaction just ain't gonna be right. You would have to calm down a second before you react because you will react in a negative manner. Yeah. Like especially if you've been drinking, you just came from a good evening. Y'all been drinking. Your thoughts and stuff aren't, you know what I'm saying, on par. You're gonna react in a way that will make her feel like, oh my God, he tried to rape me. I said stop.
Yeah.
And that's where I was gonna
exactly.
go with this.
That's what I was
gonna
just
go with this.
Is that it's potential for that to happen because again, you've been drinking. It's one of those type of things. No, the best course of action will be to just, you gotta kind of take that L with that moment. You know what I'm saying, and just be out. But again, make sure that your pitching arm is, you know what I'm saying, like again, your Randy Johnson, Kurt Schilling, man.
Like at the end of the day, I think what's lost in that, and my biggest fear for any fellows caught in that kind of situation is the possibility now that this chick was sexually assaulted, abused somehow.
Yeah.
Like, and it's see what's happening to men nowadays. Y'all about to put me on my soapbox, but what's happening to men right now is that we're becoming the villain in stories that the whole beginning of the story is not told, right? There's only a blip in the story that's been highlighted, and now he's a villain. So when you leave and she goes back and tells her girls about what happened, right? Oh, I told him to stop. He got mad. I couldn't believe it. He left mad. Like what? That's, you know what I mean? Like, you missed everything that led up to that. You missed how you led me down this path, and the only outcome of the story is that I'm a bad guy, that I'm a villain. Does the dude have to stop? Of course. We all get that, right? Of course you're not gonna say, "Nah, bitch, shut up and take this." Like, of course not. You're not gonna do that. Like, no. Of course. But goddamn, if you're not justified to be upset in this kind of conversation, and goddamn, if you're not able to voice that displeasure with her without the story coming back and you being the bad guy, because you're not the villain in the story.
You don't want to do it right then and there. I mean, you hit her with that, hey, what's up? What happened? Once she explains, all right, keep it moving. No further, nothing further.
Before I get off of this, because again, this wasn't even the topic.
You would be a bigger villain. You would be a bigger villain if you say, "Oh, you want me to stop? All right, I'm gonna stop." You took the condom off, threw it on her leg, and then just let her That's a villain, right? That's when you're a villain. If you do something like that, like, you know what? Take that.
Let me ask you this.
But that's what happens when you shouldn't be using the gold pack. Leave the gold pack alone. She was like, "This is not the right size for you, fam. Nah, stop. No, cut it.
Oh,
cut
shit,
it.
That's funny. Whatever.
But
What I wanted to ask was,
He's talking to you,
yes.
Jones. By the way.
yeah, fuck out of here. I know he's still salty.
He's talking to you too, just to be
So
clear.
Yeah, he caught me real quick.
yeah,
Caught me with a
that's
left
not
jab.
he niggas back at me. I'm already hip to it. Worried about it. He good. Fuck, I forgot what I had to say next, man. All right, well that was just a quick thing that jumped in my head. We'll deal with it later. But it's a crazy story how the dude could be a bad guy in a situation where, you know what I mean? Like you don't know the whole story, man. If you did, you might look at it a little bit differently. So
Yes, fellas, don't go for that fourth stroke. No, pull out.
yeah,
Let's go.
yeah,
Time to go.
maybe that's the lesson on that. So
Pull out.
that's bullshit, dog. And I wonder what her friends like. I wonder what people say. What do they ever call her the bad guy? Do her friends be like, "Nah, yo, bitch, you was wrong for that"? You know what I mean?
I don't
Come
think
on.
they would.
So
Come on, man.
I don't think they would.
Depending on you, because you're gonna have one girl that's like, well, was he that bad like that? Was one girl out the crew is gonna ask about that? Like, well, was it him? Like, what just made you just randomly just say, you know what?
Yeah.
You know, I usually don't do this. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
More importantly, what could now? None of us are gonna be able to answer this because we're all men who think logically. No. But from a woman's perspective, why the fuck would that happen 4 strokes in? Like, we already here. Like, what are we doing right now? Like, I don't understand why this revelation came to you right now 4 strokes in. Like,
I mean, going back to last episode, I mean, she didn't ask a man to come to the funeral, so I mean, shit. I mean,
You petty, bro.
Hey, yo, I got a funny story about
I'm just saying.
Talk to me, yeah.
And it wasn't me, so anybody thinking that it wasn't me. Okay. This is back when I was in school down south, and a similar situation happened, except she didn't tell him to stop. He stopped, but he stopped because he finished quick.
Oh. Well,
but he stopped it under the pretense of, you know what, we really shouldn't be doing this. You and I are good friends. I don't want to ruin a relationship. Meanwhile, he got his off already, but she didn't know.
She didn't know?
No, she didn't know. I mean,
you got the
gold pack. You don't got to always know when that's done. Not everybody's visual in their reaction.
Yo, first off, that's some platinum hustler shit, right? Because she had you dead to rights, my nigga. Like, yo, you was out of here. Your whole name was tarnished.
Oh yeah.
But second off, like, he's a villain for that, dog. If you told us the story, I'd be like, bro, you a villain, dog. Cut the shit, man.
Yeah, he's a villain for that.
At least eat the box and let her come before you just be like, get the fuck out of here, dog. Some dudes gotta take the L. Take the L if that's the case, dog. Don't let pride get in the way.
That's the gentleman's L. Nobody gotta know.
Facts. Factory.
You know what? Let me go get my Patron. I'll be right
back. Factory. Yo,
that's fucked up. That's fucked up. And so she never found out, huh?
No, I think they might have hooked up again later, but I think it was one of those random occurrences where he wasn't expecting it to go down and it went down, so he wasn't prepared. Because you got to be prepared when you go to battle. So
yeah. I'm willing to bet there's. I don't want to say there's more to the story. That's a terrible L, dog. Was that the first time they ended up linked?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that, dog. I think he's a villain. I think she needs her money back. That's what I think. I think there's a refund clause here. Keep the receipt, sis. Like,
hey, listen, it's worse things that could have happened for you stop. Like, it's not like, her feet smelled or anything like that. And you had to stop because of that.
Yo, you're no fucking good.
Oh,
you're no fucking good.
Listen, man.
You're no fucking good.
I'm just saying.
Moving right along. What else we
Yo,
got?
this show is going.
Moving along.
Boy,
What else we got?
these dudes got
Moving
no sense on this show,
Yo.
man. Let's do the Ask Chuck, man, because we gotta get Ed out of here, right? We got to get you back to school.
Yeah.
Here's the Ask Chuck now. I don't know what's gonna top this shit, but we can certainly try. What's happening out here? Here's the Ask Chuck, man. Here's what we got. So,
Women, please wash their feet.
yes.
Oh shit.
But go ahead.
Hey, yo, we gotta move on.
Yeah.
Yo.
Jesus Christ. See
What's
that
next?
freshen up in the bathroom time? Include the feet too, dog. That
Yes.
Yo.
Come on, man.
You can't do nothing if it's the shoes though, not just the feet. If it's the shoes, you can't do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I'm done.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Oh shit.
Can we act professional here, man? Like we're like 50 episodes in, B. Like, can we act like we know what we're doing here? Let's move on, man. Come on, Sparring Minds, episode. Come on, 42. We focus.
Jackie Robinson, the Jackie Robinson episode. My bad, 42.
We focus. We good here. We good. So we got past that. We're gonna move on to the Ask Chuck. As always, if y'all got some comments, I assume that you're hitting the laugh emoji right now, but we're going to move past that stuff. We're going to go right into the Ask Chuck. And then let us know what you feel in the comments also. So here's what we got. So my fiance, this is from a male's perspective. So a guy, and that's normally who inboxes us as a guy, right? So my fiance, after a fight, no longer publicly displays our relationship status on her page. Is that something I should bring up or just let it go? It's been a couple of weeks since then, and we aren't talking as much, so it still bothers me. Should I ask her to put it back? I just feel like, why are you hiding it from public view all of a sudden?
Say that again?
What's she hiding?
They're in a relationship.
Yeah.
Right? And they got into a fight, and after said fight, she changed her relationship status, or she's hiding her relationship status to no longer show him as the boyfriend. And he wants to, it sounds as though he wants to ask her to put it back up there, or at least ask her why she removed it in the first place. So is this something that he should ask? Is this something that he should wait for her to do? Is this something that's important? Where are we with that, man?
I mean, I don't feel like it's like, it's okay. So it's important for the fact that after the argument, she decided to change or hide the status, right? But sometimes I feel like people put so much stock into the social media and whether it's shown or not shown. Like, I mean, like, it just depends on the individual and how much. I guess I would just be more mad for hiding it before we got into a fight, right? But I'm not asking her to put it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like that's something that I have to do. If she wants to unhide it, that's something she's doing on her own. Like, I'm not going to say, hey, you know, on Facebook, it doesn't say that we're in a relationship, even though I'm sitting right here beside you, we're in the same spot. I guess I would just be more mad for her not being able to channel that emotion to just make such a rational thing. But whether it's up there or not, as long as I know we're in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's all that matters, that we know it, and it doesn't really, I don't care about it being for public display or whatever, you know, because again, once you start putting your personal relationship stuff out there, then people are going to comment and judge and say all this stuff like that. So it depends on how much you value your relationship. I mean, again, I would expect her to do it. I'm not going to her and say, hey, put this back up or change this right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean?
Even though she was doing it out of being petty.
For what though?
I mean,
she's being petty. I mean, that's most women though for you. You know what I'm saying? Like being petty, to be honest. So, I mean, I don't really care about it, you know, being in lights for people on Facebook to judge or whatever the case may be. You know, so that's just
like Maine said, I'm gonna be mad because she did it after an argument. Me, I'm not a real like I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on social media heavy. But a lot of my private life, I don't put on. Yeah, I mean, I do have pictures, of who I've dated and stuff like that up there, stuff like that. But I really care less if I'm up there as the boyfriend, the husband, or whatever. I really don't take stock into all that. I really don't care. But I would ask her, why did she take it down? I would, and I really don't care if she puts it back up, to tell you the truth. I mean, if we're still rocking, then we're still rocking. If not, then it is what it is. That's
Hey,
all
Steve,
to
what do
it.
you think, bro?
Yeah, I agree with the fellas, man. This is foolish. Especially what Maine said. People put too much stock in this stuff, man. Like, one, how do I even know that she took it down? Am I that invested in stalking her page that I'm checking to see what she's doing with when it involves me or anybody else? Like, that's foolish. Like, I don't get into all of that. I don't get into all the blocking people or whatever. You just hit the unfollow button, whatever. If it is what it is. But if you're doing your job as a man or a woman in a relationship, like, that stuff shouldn't matter ever.
Yeah.
I guess I look at it a little bit differently. And it's no secret that of the four of us here, I have more of my private life on social media. Um, but because I do my day in the life segment all
Yeah.
the time, right? Which, by the way, most of that should be like damn near true life shit. Um, but I think like at the end of the day, I'm very much a public love person, and I say that because I treat social media like I would do an evening at our friend's house. You know what I
But
mean?
Fabian's like me when it comes to social media.
Fabian's very much like if she
Like
wasn't
me.
married to Charles, she'd be a wallflower on social media. You know what I mean? But I drag her into social media, so she got no choice.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
but I think that's the thing here that where I differ from y'all is that I love publicly, right? Like to me, I don't care how this sounds. Like I know my intention. She's very
Yeah.
much my most prized trophy. Like she's my most prized anything, right?
Is
Yeah.
that
And
shit?
so I want to like blast that. I want to talk about her all the time, and I want to make sure that everybody who's around me socially
Yeah.
understands that she's the most important thing in my life. Like if you spend any time on my page at all, you know that Fabian's the most important thing. You see what I'm saying? So I use
Yeah.
social media very purposely for that reason. I also think that when I use social media in this way, and I'm saying this only because Maine and Ant have expressed that social media shouldn't be a very viable engine for your relationship, right? But I use
Mm-hmm.
social media as a way to say to her, one of the problems with relationships, right, is that somebody feels as though um, they're not valued and that there are things that may be hidden. So those are two huge problems in relationships, right? So I've been able to use social media to solve both of those problems. Fabian feels super valued because she's all I talk about. And
Mm-hmm.
like every other woman in the world, if you're looking at me from the Facebook perspective, my world is Fabian. Like don't bother with none of that, right? Like I don't I
Mm-hmm.
don't have like a secret life. You know what I mean? I think that's what can be misconstrued from people who are like, oh, I don't really care about social media. I want to just play in my own corner. So okay.
Yeah.
You give off the aura that there's things happening behind the scenes. You give off the aura that that's just make believe. I mean,
Uh,
at the end of the day, social media is full with real life people, right? That you interact with. Assuming that you're adding your friends and family and close ones, not just some trolls that you see in a group or whatever, but you interact, you show pictures to your cousins and your family that you see that you don't get to see as often as you would like. And so
yeah.
my goal in using social media is to highlight my life, highlight my life, those two facets of my life, right? So this case here, I would feel a way if I was being blocked from social media. Now, would I say something? No.
It's not blocked though.
I mean,
I'm
blocked is
Well,
a different
if
thing.
I'm
the
not blocked,
relationship
pardon me.
status
If I'm not
is
showing,
hidden.
to me it's the same thing. You're right. You're right.
So
To me, in my world, it's the same thing.
hmm
Because now I feel like you're no longer highlighting me as something that's important in your life. You know what I mean? Again, she uses it like you said. So to her, she's like, "Who cares about social media? It's a computer. I turn this shit off every night."
But
You know what I
but
mean?
but that's the thing. Like with me, when it comes to social media, I do so much on my own page. I don't have time to sit there and look on her page or anybody else's page. Like I may see stuff in notifications as I scroll down sometimes, but for the most part, I mean, if I jump on social media, it's for my own purposes, my own page. So, I don't go check on her page. I mean, if she tags me in something, then okay, fine. Then I'll see it in my notifications. But that's when I decide to go look at my notifications. You know, I mean that's just how it is with me. I may go a whole day and not realize I've been tagged in something from her because I was just only looking at my own page.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
You know,
We use it so
I'm,
much. Just to,
I mean, so let's just be clear. I think what Hightower and I said is that people put too much stock into it. It's
Yeah.
not that, you can't show pictures of your significant other or something, but we're just talking about something like the status of your relationship being hidden to the social media world, but you guys are still in a relationship.
yeah,
I mean,
but
Yeah.
that's
break
like
up? You
no,
guys break up or something?
no, man. To
That's
me,
stuff
in
that I'm
my
missing.
head, all I see is us behind closed doors and her saying, "Yeah, our relationship is good," but out in public,
hmm
she's not saying that. That's
Yeah.
what I parallels this to be, and that's
And
not a
I
good
get
look.
that.
That's
And I
not a
get
good look.
that. I get that.
But what did she say? Did she make a post disregarding the relationship, or did she just literally just hide
Nah, she just
the
took it
fact that
down.
She
y'all
took it
aren't in a
down. She just took it
relationship
down.
no more?
It's
Nah,
just
she just took down the relationship thing. Like when you go look on her page, it doesn't say that we're in a relationship together anymore.
Right. So again, who is doing that? Who is going to checking on her page for that particular thing right
Oh,
there?
believe me, people do. People do.
Waste of time.
Yeah,
Waste of
girls
time,
do
but
it all the time. People do.
okay.
so this doesn't parallel to like public
This
love to
this
y'all, like
this is a man in this situation, I believe, right? So
yeah.
like, why would he? I mean, if it means that much to him, I guess, but like, it depends on individual and how much that really means to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't mean you're not loving her or there's no love because it's not for the public to see or anything like that.
No,
You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
want to be
I,
loved behind
I,
closed doors, bro.
I mean, I kind of understand Chuck, and I feel the same way. But like I said, if it goes down, then it just goes down. I really didn't really care to have it up there to begin with. But if it was already there, then it should stay there. And I'm gonna feel some sort of way because you took it down. But I
And,
mean, if we're still rocking, then we're still rocking. But I'm still gonna feel some way because it's taken down.
and you disagree?
Yeah, man, I'm a big fan of, show me, don't tell me. You know what I mean? So like
Okay.
you can tell me and everybody in the world that, you're in a relationship based on your status on Facebook, but that don't mean nothing if you can't show me. So I'd rather you show me so I can feel it for myself than you to, tell everybody else.
Yeah.
So I could care less what it says. It can say
Yeah.
single tomorrow, but I know what I got here at the crib.
I don't like that. I don't like that concept, man. Like,
If I'm married, it's different. No, it has to say we're married.
no, it's either way. If I'm committed to somebody, whether married or not, like, well, here's the funny thing. Long time ago, right? Like,
Long,
Mhm.
long,
yeah,
Long.
like
Very long, very
ancient
long,
years
very
ago.
I
long.
remember being the side nigga, right? And I was in that zone for a little while, right? Um, and I was okay with it at the time because I understood that I wasn't for public consumption. Like I wasn't for that. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
here
Okay.
for every other Thursday night when you wanted to get away from your husband or you wanted to get away from your boyfriend. You text Charlene in your phone, and I'd be like, "Oh, girl, what are you doing?" Like, yeah, I was there, right? So I was hidden in the dark, and so now it's like I finally got a girl on my own. Like, I'm not gonna be hiding in the dark no more. And I feel like for you not to broadcast me that way on the social media platform,
That's a side nigga though type thing you're talking about. It's not like
so.
so
But that's the aura here.
blow
If she's not proclaiming him, he's a side nigga to me.
no way.
Why not?
Yeah,
It's the same traits.
you lost me with that one. No way. It's
Why?
not. I do not see that.
I mean, it's
not
not the same.
So she changed her relationship status. So now y'all are broke up. You're the side nigga, and you're the villain on top of that too.
No, I'm talking about the perception of others. That's what I'm talking about. Because that's all we use social media, right? So obviously, like Ant said, like you said, like Sammy said, you know what you got at home. We're clear on that part. But now we're talking about the social perception from my mother, who's on social media, my aunt, my grandmother, who's looking at my page to see the latest pictures or read the latest the latest day of my life. They're on my page regularly to just see how the family's doing. And now I'm hidden, right? It's like, wait a minute, I'm confused, right? So,
like, what's up, Chuck?
Yeah,
like,
right.
what's up,
My
Chuck? I mean, you
you
sitting here talking about this girl up and down all day, but I looked on her page and found out that
you're not even there.
She's single.
Yep. Yeah.
It didn't say single though. It just said the relationship status is hidden.
It's gone.
It does not say this relationship status changed. Here y'all two go again, changing the narrative just to fit your argument. That's what y'all are doing.
But that's what it was. But that's what it was meant to.
That's the insinuation, man.
But that's what it is meaning. That's what it's meaning.
Right.
No, it does not mean that.
Fam, listen.
How you go from the relationship's hidden to she don't want to be with me no more. She put my shit on the sidewalk. Like these are all
that extra shit.
That's the perception.
All that extra shit, it's whatever. Yeah, but listen, it was there. Now it's not there.
Knock it off, man. Knock it off.
Reaching.
Knock it off.
You know how many people go on your page probably daily and probably look and see what your status is. If you're with someone, if you're not with someone.
Well, I post pictures of my girl.
People want to be nosy.
Huh? Don't stop nothing.
I post pictures of my girl on my page. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, and again, if somebody's gonna want to, my relationship, she could be germane. It could, all that. It's not gonna stop someone from getting on the mound and pitching just because it says she's in a relationship or not. It don't matter.
All I know is tomorrow is Wednesday. So, your girls best be posted Wednesday. You know what Wednesday is.
WCW.
Yeah.
We got our limit, fellas.
I ain't been an MCM yet. She better relax.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Oh.
What I'm saying?
Okay. We don't do MCMs and WCWs around.
Y'all don't do those?
Nah.
Now I'm gonna make Fabian do it on Monday just because of this.
I mean, at least one Monday a month.
Come on, man, get in there.
Nah, you do it once, you got to do it all the time, man.
Well, hey, you don't have to do it every week. You can do it at least once a month. Come on,
you set that standard, man.
Yo, man, dog. Ego, boy, woo, that ego's something else, boy.
Ego's important, bro. Ego's important in men, man.
Nah, the ego is important.
I hear you, pimp. I mean, hey, listen, I get it. I totally get it, but we all got egos. Mine ain't that crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, but, teach his own.
Yeah, absolutely. Sammy, hit us with a mirror time, King.
All right. So this is actually from my ride or die, my travel partner, for life. A lack of self-care is self-neglect. So in order to take care of someone, you have to be able to take care of yourself.
Yeah, I can dig that.
So
I can dig it.
We'll call that.
Let's go ahead and get out of here.
Anybody got any acknowledgements? Anything?
I got a shout out before we go, but I'll wrap it up. So how about y'all got anything?
See y'all Thursday, man. 2 Chainz, Team 2 Chainz.
I'm gonna listen to a lot more 2 Chainz tonight. I'm gonna jump on his radio station tonight. I'm gonna listen to a little bit more 2 Chainz because it's gonna be a lot closer. He may even squeak past Rick Ross. He may.
Y'all y'all stay tuned Thursday. We're gonna do that. We want to shout out Henny and Hot Wings, man. They do a real good podcast over there. I've been listening to them for a little while now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a group of three girls, Mo, Jill, and of course Hot Sauce. They're doing some great things on their podcast and
Hmm.
very fiery, very introspective. So I like
They
listening
got
to
a
that.
couple of guys over there, don't they?
Well,
No,
they
they
do a
be
lot of
guests.
interviews, guests.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And I think between us, I think our train is headed in that direction. Like I think there's going to be a, a clash between the Sparring Minds and the Henny and Hot Wings podcast. Hopefully, we can work something like that out. That'll be a nice
That
avenue.
would be dope. That would be
You
dope.
know, and I think a lot of our listeners are waiting for this men versus women conversation, right?
Battle of the
And
sexes.
so, yeah, we're gonna put that in
Battle
the
of the
air.
sexes.
We're gonna put that in the
Battle
air
of the
right
sexes.
now, and what better way for us to debut that Battle of the Sexes than Sparring Minds and
Yeah.
somebody like Henny and Hot Wings. So, you
Yeah.
know, Mo, Jill, Danielle, y'all might be hearing from us in the near future. We're gonna kick our idea around a little bit, but you know, I think that's coming down the line. So shout out to them anyways. They do a great job, so I'm gonna stay tuned to that. And you know, what's Sparring Minds, man? You know me, it's Charles Jones, man.
Hightower.
Sam Little, Mr. Maritime.
Hey, and it's the chef. It's the main topic.
We out of here, man. We'll see y'all Thursday for the versus battle.
Yeah, versus
Yes, sir.
Toucan.